Okay.
The Democratic National Convention is in Philadelphia. It's being held in the Wells Fargo Center, which is a sporting complex just like last week's was held. And they've had a tremendous response and tremendous reply. It didn't start off that way, though. The Bernie bros were royally pissed off with the fact that their man is not going to win. And they seem to think that just like the dumb Trumpers, that they would come up with a way to stop Hillary.
They didn't like it, did they?
Well, they don't like maths. I mean, Hillary won 60-40, so it's going to take an awful lot to get rid of her. But there was an event over the weekend that gave them a bit of fuel for their fire. The Democratic National Committee had a bunch of their emails between several people leaked by WikiLeaks.
Right.
Now, WikiLeaks doesn't like the Democrats. They don't like Clinton at all for any reason. So there were some fairly nasty notes between Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who was the chairman, emphasis on was.
And stood down, of course.
She did stand down. And several of her people that made it look as though they were clearly in the tank for Hillary. And of course the Bernies, went rightfully insane again. But what I keep trying to tell people, and nobody wants to understand, is that parties do what parties do to protect the party. Bernie never joined the Democratic Party, and he remained an independent. And indeed, this past week, he has announced his intention to step away and become an independent again. And if you're running a political party, you're going to take great care to ensure that your party is protected at all costs. So I understand. And the other thing I always say to people is that this is politics. All right? This is a full contact sport. We're not playing badminton, all right? We're not having tea on the lawn. We're going to do everything we can to win, no matter who it. And I saw this in my own campaign, with the overemphasis on Cardiff.
Did.
And it's what political parties do to protect themselves, particularly from someone perceived as an outsider or a newcomer, when they don't know who that person is. So I fully understand why the DNC did what it did. What was interesting is that it was the leak, apparently, of the emails was traced back to Russia.
Yeah, that's a strange one, isn't it? Because they're talking now about Russia being involved. I can't get my head around this, really. But that Russia may be involved in that leak out of that
to benefit Donald Trump, with whom they have numerous business relationships.
Yeah, so because he is supported by, among others, by
Vladimir Putin.
Who
the Donald went out of his way to say was a tremendous leader.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, that's what I can work out. Donald Trump supported by Vladimir Putin. That's about it in terms of world leaders, isn't it?
Well, because if you think about it, I mean, the last thing he wants to do is deal with a strong leader like Hillary Clinton, who knows where all the bodies are buried and knows everything that's going to happen. I mean, she's the one that got the very favorable renegotiation of the START Treaty, which was actually then passed by Congress when she was Secretary of State.
Strategic.
The nuclear reduction treaty.
Yeah.
And so she's somebody he doesn't like to be across the table with, because she's a tough negotiator, whereas Trump is perceived as being the lightweight newcomer who knows nothing about policy, and they feel as though they're going to be able to have their way with him.
I was never convinced, I must say, by that Hillary thing where she had that big red button to restart things with Russia. I mean, that was a bit, I thought it was a bit, didn't quite work, did it?
No. And as we said, Debbie Wasserman Schultz did step down, and I really feel badly, but she had to go because of what was written. She's been a target of the Bernie bros throughout the entire campaign. They don't like her. They don't like anything about her. They even tried to primary somebody against her. She'll safely be returned to Congress, but what a thankless job it is to head the Democratic National Committee. I mean, my former boss did it from 81 to 85 in the Reagan years, and it's just, you get all of the crap and none of the glory, and yet the DNC has been responsible for winning the last two elections on the trot, and could actually do well again this time.
You've got to be a very good organizer, haven't you, to do that job?
Well, I mean, and then you have to look at this idiot that runs the RNC and how badly their convention went last week. He still has a job. I don't understand how he is. Reince Priebus is still in his job with the Republicans.